Hi, my name is Morten Lacour, and today I'm going to show you how you can work in the Microsoft Azure Logic App Code Editor. So what we're going to try is we're going to try and build a Logic app from scratch, not using the visual designer at all. So I'm just going to go here and add a new Logic app called non-visual, I guess. And I'm going to use an existing resource group, just choose West Europe. And let's just create this Logic app. And in a second it will say that it has been created, hopefully. Okay, there we are. So we got this non-visual dude here. So if we just try and move directly, I'm just going to choose blank Logic app, and I'm going to try and move directly into code view here. Now I already have a few code snippets, but as you can see here, it already gives us sort of an empty JSON template here to work with. So the first thing we're going to do is that we're going to create a compose shape. Now all of our shapes, at least in the outer layer, are created here in under actions. So I'm just going to do a compose array action, and there are sort of almost always three things that are needed, at least three things that are needed: inputs, run after, and type. So we will always, for an action, almost always need to specify these three parameters. So let's just start by creating run after. Now, because this is the first shape that is called under this actions array, you just supply an empty object here. All right. Now, we also need to specify a type, and like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to do a compose. Now let's just supply the inputs of this compose, and I'm going to make an array. I'm going to send a few emails, so I'm just going to say, to, and it's going to be to my email address, I guess. And I'm going to have a header, which is going to be hello 1, and I'm going to have a subject, hello 2. So let's just change a little bit here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to try and save this. Okay, we got an invalid token. Yes. All right. What is the problem here? Okay, so it would help if I could actually spell. And now it completed. So what we're going to do now is going to make the next action, which will then run after this compose array. And this action will be a for each. Now I'm just going to cheat a little bit here because I already have a for each here. I'm just going to grab that. And we're going to alter it as needed. So next action will be a for each, for each array-ish thingy. And I'm going to say you have to run after the compose array every time it succeeds. And it's going to be the output of this guy here. Save. And then we're going to need a trigger. I'm just going to say that this is a recurrent trigger. It's just going to run every, 3 minutes or something. So if we just get that. Okay. So let's just say it runs every 3 minutes. That's fine. All right. So let's just see if this is in fact working before I start to add the send mail shape inside the for each. Now, at least it seems like everything was saved properly. So what we can do is just go back to our Logic app view here and just try and run the trigger. And if we just refresh a couple of times, you can see that it did indeed succeed. And if we run history, we can also see that it actually ran 3 times. So yes, our for each array got the output from the compose, which had an array of 3 items. So let's just try and add a send, where I just use a Gmail account to send to my company account. And again, I also have that somewhere here. So we just need to make a few things. We just need to set the connection. At the very top here, I'm just going to go to code view, and there will be connections here. I also need to specify inside my parameters that we are indeed using connections. So I'm just going to replace this guy here. And last but not least, we're going to need this send email action. Now this action will run inside the for each. So as you can see here, the for each action has its own collection of actions. So we're just going to, and I'm just going to say this runs after, again, nothing, because this is the first action inside this action array. So run after is just going to be this. And let's just say that the body is outputs of this guy here. And it's going to be, what did I call it? Header subject, I believe I call it, right? So if we just try subject, and let's just copy paste this a couple of times. Yeah, okay, so I've chosen terrible naming here, as you can see, but never mind that. So the subject will actually be header. Just wait 1 second. Okay, and 2 will be 2. So let's just save that, and let's just run it again manually. I'm just going to go to my run trigger here. And it failed. So let's just have a very quick look of why it failed. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. Of course, I should not use the input of our compose shape earlier, since that actually was the array here, but I should use the individual items that the for each type actually delivers each time. So to do that, we're just going to use the for each action name here instead. And instead of output, I'm just going to use the reserved word items, which will return the item we are currently iterating over. So if I just save this instead, and I try to again run this manually, and we just do a refresh, you should be able to see here that we actually succeeded, and in a second or two I should receive a couple of emails. So these were from a minute ago, and you can see they're starting to pop in now with the subject and the body that we specified in our array. So that was it. A very simple, some might say stupid example, but it shows that you can actually do stuff only using the code editor in a Logic App. Now I'm not saying you should do that, but if you work intensely with Logic Apps, it is nice to be able to at least understand what is going on in the code view and how it works. Thank you for watching.